Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Megan Brame. Megan is the author, podcast host, and 5X award winning digital marketing strategist. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Megan Brame. Megan, welcome.
Hi, Siddique. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Is it warm in New York?
It is not. It's unfortunately not warm.
Okay, let's engage in this conversation so you feel positive, and who are watching this, they feel positive too. So, Megan, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to become a marketing strategist?
Uh, I wish that I had a quick answer for that, but unfortunately, it's pretty diluted. I started my business back in right out of college. I was a skincare and home fragrance candle entrepreneur, and I had a business that I loved, but I would not give up control of anything, and so I burned out from it very quickly. And I had to close the business just because it was too toxic for me. So I closed it, and I had to figure out what I want to be when I grow up after this, So I I had this blog for a while that I was running that I was using to talk about other entrepreneurs that I was meeting in New York City, but it evolved from that into talking more about my own experiences as an entrepreneur. And so when I had closed my first business and was trying to figure out what am I going to do next, I noticed that I really love to talk to other entrepreneurs about marketing. And it became this, what I call this nerdy passion for me. Like I will corner you at a cocktail party and talk to you about marketing all day if I have the opportunity to do it. So it just became this thing of, this is what I love to do, and it's clearly what I am compelled to do. So let me help as many people as I can with this. And so that has been my journey. And unfortunately, it started as a low point, but the path to where I am today is so cool. And I'm so thankful for having that story.
Wonderful. And then you started about podcast because that probably tell me why you did it. That gave you the reason to talk. Nobody can stop you.
Exactly. Sneak, I think you're speaking from experience on this one.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's my show. Whatever I like to say, you can say it. That's why you have the podcast.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, it's great to really inspire other people to do their marketing because without a marketing, nothing happens.
It's true. I think that so many people get intimidated by marketing. It's not a thing that 5 Instagram followers equals $5. It's much more nuanced than that. And so many people get intimidated and overwhelmed by it. So loving that niche, I guess, makes it so interesting for me and so rewarding to show people how it doesn't have to be terrifying. It's actually just about having a conversation.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned about 5 Instagram followers. Most people look at how many followers they have, how many views they have videos, and which is okay. I don't mind at all. However, I have, in my little life, I have some clients who wrote a quarter million dollar one contract,
Mm-hmm.
and not one, multiple clients. I rather have only those people following me somewhere, even hidden, nobody can see them, so then nobody can steal those clients. So it's not about really the followers. It's you very well said, it's about the engagement and the relationship with those people, even though the very few, because how many you're looking for? Very few good clients.
Right. Right. Well, think about just in your real life, you have acquaintances, you have colleagues, but you also have this, hopefully you have this center of people who are just your biggest supporters, and they're your family or your best friends or your close friends or things like that. And those are the ones who know you the best and who get you and who support you the most. And it's just like that in a business. You have to find that center of people that really get you, and it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be effective.
Megan, I think we are on the right start. So we have the similar mindset. Yay. So Megan, from your experience, let's talk about some lessons you have learned, so you can share with us. What are the top 3 missteps to avoid when you're becoming a marketing kind of. the go-to person?
I would say that the most important thing above all is to go where your clients are. So don't feel like you have to be everywhere. I know that Clubhouse has just started and there's Snapchat and TikTok and Instagram. You don't have to be everywhere, even if you feel like you do. You have to be where your customers are. So that is the number one thing I tell anybody in any kind of business. Don't feel like you have to have a presence everywhere because everybody else does. Let them worry about that. You have to worry about where your customers are. That's the most important thing.
My customers are all on Clubhouse. That's why I have my ID. So meet
There
Siddique.
you go. See, then you know.
Yeah.
The second thing is to make sure that you are talking to them. Have a conversation. Don't talk at them, talk with them. The most successful client relationships that I've had are ones where they know me and they know me embarrassingly well. Like the ones who understand, they can get on a call with me and they know how I'm going to speak and I know how they'll speak, and we just have a conversation, and it's so much more effective than trying to talk to people who won't get it or who won't get me.
Yeah.
That I feel like that is something that a lot of people will, especially in the beginning, be very afraid of finding their tribe, and they want to be everywhere. They want to be with everyone. Whoever will pay me, come on over. I'd love to have you. And unfortunately, that's just not an effective way to run a business, a marketing business, or any kind of business. You really have to find the people who get you and who understand who you are, what you're doing, and why it's important. And those are the ones that you have to talk with and become friends with in a way. My last is be consistent. You always need to be consistent in whatever kind of marketing you're doing. So if it is Instagram, if it is Clubhouse, whatever platform you're doing, if it's advertising, whatever, blogging, the biggest failure that I have seen for clients is when they start something and they go all in for 2 weeks and then it kind of drifts away. The momentum that is lost by not being consistent is such a detriment to any kind of marketing business, any kind of marketing campaign. So it's really critical that the more consistent you are, the better your business will be. And that's another reason that I always say, don't feel like you have to be everywhere, because it's impossible to be consistent on 12 platforms. Try 1 or 2 platforms, get consistent on those, and see how they're working for your business.
Yeah, especially your ideal client may be only in 1 or 2 practically. Those are It's like a buffet choices. You don't have to eat everything, okay?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this is good, Megan. So let's talk about, you mentioned being authentic with your market and be vulnerable, basically. Let's talk about your one vulnerability. What are your single most professional failure you like to share with us as a marketing person? What did you learn from it, and how did you recover from that?
I would say the one that comes to mind is when I burned out from my business. It's not exactly marketing related, but it was more encompassing than that, I guess. When I was running this business, my first business, I was so afraid to give up control of anything. So I did the packaging, the marketing, the social media, the customer service, the shipping, the product design, like all of that. That was all on me.
No, that's not a control freak. That's a perfectionist, because can do better than me.
It's a perfectionist, but it's also a fear. And for me, it was a fear of just, I couldn't let someone in to see how messed up the behind the scenes was. And I was always afraid that there wasn't money for it either, that I would just I don't have the money to hire a salesperson. But consequently, since I was doing everything, I was burning out. And my husband, one day, we were just in the kitchen talking about our, daily lives. And I was telling him about what happened at my office. And he was said to me, "It doesn't sound like you're happy." It was sort of like am I happy? Wait, why would someone who knows me so well say that if I'm not happy? And so that kind of started the cycle of realizing that I had turned this business that I loved into a job that I hated. And if I had been able to give up control of something just a little bit and let other people who were better at something do it for me, my business could have thrived so much more. Now, it was a successful business. It was in the New York Times. I got all these industry awards, all of these things. It was a little darling business, but I hated it. I hated going to work every day. And that was my business. I had created this, which was the worst part of all. What I learned from that is, after I closed it, I could have sold it, but it was just like a bad breakup. You want to be done, you want to move on. And I learned from that it doesn't help anybody to be busy. Like, there's busy and there's effective busy. And being busy for the sake of being busy helps no one. It doesn't impress anyone. It doesn't move the needle forward. It doesn't do anything like that. So when I decided to go full-time into marketing strategy, I brought people on who were able to help me move to that next level, because I knew that I can't do everything. I had tried before and had failed spectacularly. And now I knew that I needed to focus on talking to you, talking to my customers, having the conversations, and letting other people who are more talented run all the other stuff.
Yeah, grow your tribe. You need to be on the front line instead of doing the back office work. That's what that is. A great lesson. Thank you, Megan, for sharing. Yeah. Even though we don't know each other too long, how I'll feel like we know each other too.
I agree. I think that we'd be best friends.
Yeah, wonderful. So, Megan, let's just switch the side of the table. So, what are your top 3 success secrets? Don't be stingy. Give us your best ones, okay?
Oh, I would say that my top 3 secrets would be yourself. And I know that sounds really just crappy or just like inauthentic, but I mean it in the purest sense. Don't try and be somebody else. Siddique, you and I are having such a good conversation because we are being ourselves, and we're just talking like we would be talking if we were at a coffee shop or something like that. Yep. And the people who like that will find you more and will want to hear more from you. And that's how you don't try and be somebody else. Just live your life, live your authentic life, and be yourself. And that is such a strong marketing message for any business. The second one is, make sure you don't let FOMO, fear of missing out, run your business. Don't buy tons of software because you think you need it. Don't buy tons of, packaging because you think you need it. Don't jump on the shiny new object because you think you need to be there. Take time to create a strategy and find the tools and the avenues, I guess, that will make that successful. Don't load up the cart because you feel like you'll need it. Instead, go slowly, be more intentional about your business and your strategy. And my third is, love it. And know that loving it means there's going to be bad days and there's going to be really hard days. But understanding why you are an entrepreneur and why you do what you do, it helps you out so much and it keeps you moving forward. So remember why you love it and remember why it is that you're compelled to be this person. And that will help keep you going too.
Yeah, no, this is a good, why love it. So basically keep asking this question, why you started at the first place,
Right.
Remind yourself why that will keep you going, because if you loved it at that time, so there's it's like a relationship. Sometimes it's ups and downs, you need to make it work,
Exactly. Businesses are like dating, it's just like you start slowly and you love it and then you get married to it and it's 30 years down the line and you're like, I wonder what it was like over there. But it doesn't matter because this is
Megan, your husband may be watching this show. So.
But my husband and I just celebrated 11 years and I love him.
Oh.
He's fantastic. He is the best support system and fantastic. So
congrats on that. It's because every day counts. It's not that simple.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wonderful. Megan, how the Growth Hacking Secrets community people who are watching this now can support you?
Oh, you can come listen to my podcast, Stop Sucking at Business, Truth in Advertising. You can check out my website, meganbrame.com. I have a ton of resources there for entrepreneurs and bloggers who are looking to grow their business. It's all free resources. I have my members library, but head to meganbrame.com. That's the hub. That's where you can find all of my resources and links to my podcast, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Yeah, someone is saying this is a great. I have discovered a lot from watching this. Your efforts means a lot. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Megan, somebody already like you on this one, watching this. Okay.
Thank you.
So great. Check out the meganbrame.com. I did check out. You will learn a lot once you go on that and with the focus and try to get what you want to achieve that way. Just browsing through will not probably get you because there are too many sites,
Yeah,
So
it's almost a decade of information. So yeah, figure out what you want to do and then come to my site.
meganbrame.com. If you're just listening, meganbrame.com. Check that out. A good starting point will be start listening to the podcasts. They get to know Megan, her style, how much she gave away, and how much she keep it to herself. That you will know the style from a podcast. So thank you so much, Megan. I
Thanks.
like to ask this question to almost every guest who comes on my podcast as a kind of testimonial for my show. So, what would you say to your best friend about Growth Hacking Secret Show when I'm not there?
I would say you need to meet Siddique. He is such a warm and helpful and kind person and so smart. So ridiculously smart. He is going to just help you drive your business 10x. And you need to go to meetsiddique.com.
Thank you so much for your kind words. However, can you tell the same thing to my wife? She's still.
You talk to my husband, I'll talk to your wife. We'll be good.
Okay, that's a good trade. Yeah. Megan, what would you say as a final word?
Thank you. Just thank you to you. Thank you to all of those who are watching or listening. And thank you to the entrepreneurs who keep going. You guys are so cool and so inspiring.
Yeah, that wraps up our conversation. Megan Brame. Megan, the author, podcast host, and 5X award winning digital marketing strategist from meganbrame.com. Thank you so much, Megan, for sharing your wisdom with us today on behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.